Hello and welcome to the third part of this RWBY fanfiction reading, which is RWBY watches Death Battle by epicvictory2025. So last time we finished up what was remaining of the introduction, looked at a little bit of the first one, and then decided we're only going to watch one of them, we're only going to read through one of them, and if you actually want to, if you want to know what happens in the rest of them, then you'll have to do that yourself. Otherwise, yeah, because I'm not doing 100 parts of this story just to finish it, because this is ridiculous, and I know that the original Superman versus Goku, or whatever order it was quite long. But Goku was quite long. Even though it was like the longest one up to that point, and probably until Goku versus Superman 2, it's still probably like the rest of them are gonna be ridiculously long as well. So get right into it. All right. Planning on, and this is actually a day later than when I recorded the last episode, but that's just because of bad timing and all that. So, we'll see what happens. Superman! Which I probably shouldn't have even done this whole thing right here. These past, like, 4 little parts right here, because that kind of like introducing Superman, but whatever. Kal-El was born to a high-class scientist on the planet Krypton. This sounds familiar, Weiss said. Just like Goku, Kal was sent away in a small space shuttle before his home planet explodes into dust due to the unstable core. He narrowly escaped the destruction of his homeworld when his father sent him to Earth with the goal of preserving human life. Well, what a coincidence, except for saving the whole human life thing. I guess that's where the similarity ends, Blake said. Right. After landing on Earth, he was found and raised by the Kents, who decided to name him Clark. Weren't they surprised when they found out he was an alien with superpowers? Clark's adoptive parents watch in awe and shock as the child easily lifts the truck with no apparent struggle. RWBY was just as shocked for such a child, alien child, to effortlessly. Clark refused to accept his Kryptonian side. RWBY felt sympathy for him, realizing that he's not entirely human. It's almost like a person discovering that she is a faunus the whole time and not a human they thought they were. Something like that. He subconsciously developed mental barriers and blocked him from obtaining his power, which he will work to uncover throughout the rest of his life. Maybe you should just stop saying things, because oftentimes it's like, oh, like, because obviously when they were writing this kind of thing, it's like they write something and like, ooh, and they probably ask those types of like really easy questions like while writing this, so they had to be like, all right, let's immediately answer it. After graduating college in 2 years and traveling the world as a secret superhero, Clark moved to the city of Metropolis as an investigative reporter and donned the red and blue to publicly announce his presence as the Superman, defender of truth, justice, and the American way. Especially RWBY. Well, wow, good one. You should be putting team in front of the RWBY to make more sense. Anyways, now smiled and admired that Superman's title of defending truth, and now see Superman in his iconic outfit with his red cape blowing in the wind, which RWBY smiles with pride since she has her cape. White even slightly blush at his face and my in and the suit is skin tight. This is weird. I don't God. Just imagine some of the other ones. Oh my god. Oh boy. I kind of want to read, oh man, I kind of want to look at some of the other ones after this just to see some of the reactions of some of it. I was thinking of just kind of being like, I don't want to actually read any more of this, but I'm kind of thinking about it. Until he re-announces well, it'll be renounced, not re-announced. Jesus Christ. Again, I probably could have watched this, but I didn't. Really, I should have. Until he renounced his American citizenship. Well, at least he still protects the innocent, Weiss said. They now see him as Clark Kent. Despite little difference in appearance, everyone else around him doesn't take notice that he's Superman. Mild-mannered Clark Kent kept his identity a secret with the and then the bottle sprays everywhere. Oh, I'm sorry. Blake and Weiss figured he's acting like that to make himself look convenient. Convenient? Whatever. Making people see what they want to believe. What? What Broomstick just said even surprised Weiss for the first time. Whoa, that's quite literate. What? Blake said, being impressed. Surprised. Broomstick, that's surprisingly profound. Broomstick then lets out a loud belch. Weiss and Blake rolled their eyes, and Weiss barely resisted to facepalm at that. Yang and RWBY were laughing. Clear his throat. Since then, his powers have been pretty inconsistent, mostly due to the writers doing whatever the hell they please. Well, there is a legitimate explanation. Superman's powers are dependent on the ultra-solar rays of the sun. RWBY was now interested in this kind of power. Oh my god. By absorbing yellow or blue sunlight, his power rises. That's an interesting power, Yang said. Or solar panel, Blake answered. I've heard of a type of semblance that also absorbs sunlight, Weiss also said. However, he could not absorb sunlight from a red star, so if you take away a yellow sun, you slowly take away Superman's powers. So he's pretty much just normal if he's out of juice, RWBY said. He's solar-powered. They call him the world's first superhero, but it sounds more like the world's first hippie to me. Alright. I mean, in theory, sure, but, you know, whatever. RWBY, Yang, and even Blake couldn't help but chuckle while Weiss had a minor annoyed expression. Now, the intensity of solar radiation disperses the further away from its source, so the closer Superman is to the sun, the more solar radiation he'll absorb. So he gathers more power the higher he gets? He is a hippie. Superman actually spent 15 minutes inside the sun. RWBY jaw dropped. Yep. What they see now is Superman taking a dip in the center of the sun. He looks like he's being made of fire. Did he say inside the sun? Weiss said in disbelief. No human or fauna can survive being inside the sun, let alone even a moment, Blake also said. Now that's what I'm talking about, Yang shouted. She loved Superman's flaming appearance. RWBY just stared in awe. When he resurfaced, he was powerful enough to effortlessly move planets. RWBY now felt flabbergasted. Right before them, they see Superman pushing a planet-sized object with jet boosters on it, and Superman is pushing it with little to no struggle. I don't know what to say, Weiss said. That's so awesome, RWBY said. How powerful would he be if it was in our? Blake questioned while being shocked. That's awesome, Yang said with impression. Jesus Christ. He can also hear sounds millions about things moving faster than light. I must say, his senses are quite versatile and useful, Weiss said impressively. What is this grammar? Blake also seemed impressed. He can see at a subatomic level and can hear through the vacuum of space, somehow. Wait, there isn't any air... wait, oh god, okay. Wait, there isn't any air for sound to travel in space. How can Superman hear in space? Don't know, he just does, Ruby said, the best thing she can think of. Blake and Weiss were intrigued with his microscopic vision. Oh my god. Yang was thinking dirty thoughts of having X-ray vision and spying the boys in the shower with it. It made her blush. Jesus Christ. You can even see your soul. What? It happened. They see Superman using that vision to see the aura of seeing the aura of a person. It would mean he could also see Ruby's aura in color, unsurprisingly. Well, weird abilities aside, Superman can freeze his enemies in ice or create hurricanes just by breathing. Weiss admires Superman's freeze breath. And to top it all off, he can shoot laser beams from his eyes. His heat vision can be expanded to encompass anything within Superman's sight and reach temperatures hotter than the sun. Ruby had their eyes wide open at hearing that. This guy just keeps surprising us, Blake said. Everyone shall fear his laser face, Yang said with a grin. He can incinerate entire planets in a staring contest. Ruby went wide-eyed. This guy is probably the most powerful character we've ever seen, Weiss said completely. Everyone else nodded. However, heat vision drains his power faster than any other ability, especially when he amps it up. True, just like Aura, where we can't spam it too much or we will tire out. Spike monster-like creatures in a single blast of his heat vision. Ruby's jaw dropped once again. And with precision, heat vision can reach microscopic levels invisible to the human eye. They watched Superman do something to this guy's, Manchester Black's, brain. Also, Superman looked sort of creepy since his suit and cape were torn up and shredded, as well as having cuts, bruises, and even his left eye is all blood red. Heat vision, focused through your pupils like a scalpel. Instant lobotomy. Superman then starts slapping his opponent really hard that it stuns and even staggers him. Ruby, especially Ruby, are now a bit terrified of how Superman is acting. The way he's acting is scaring me, Ruby shivered. Superman can vibrate his body fast enough to phase through attacks and even turn invisible. That sounds like a possible semblance to exist, Blake said impressively. By vibrating to just under light speed, Superman can use the infinite mass punch. Immensely and hits with the force of a supernova. Ruby was silent. Did he say the force of a supernova? Weiss said in disbelief. How powerful is that exactly? Ruby said in a bit of excitement, but was just as stunned. Which causes it, which explodes at a force of 10 octillion megatons. Thanks, Fact of the Day calendar. Damn, that is really OP. I like it, Yang shouted, in which Ruby also yelled in agreement. This guy is ridiculously strong, Blake said with impression. How much is an octillion? Ruby asked as she ate some popcorn. Before they could answer, they see a nuclear bomb dropped and explodes that creates a massive mushroom cloud. In comparison, this is the Tsar, the most powerful bomb mankind has ever tested, 50 megatons. Yang whistles impressively. So that punch is like 200 septillion super nukes. That's 24 zeros, bitches. Oh god, I don't remember like any of this. I think we have our answer, Weiss said, and once again in shock at how powerful Superman really is. Everyone else was stunned. Superman is not only strong, but a genius with a super brain that can process information thousands of times faster than an average human. Boy, he's a quick thinker. Yang joked with another pun that, wouldn't that be RWBY grown at? Whatever. Somebody screwed up, Yang smirked. He's capable of strategic fighting, even while traveling 8 times. Ruby awed at stars in her eyes, hearing such speeds. Okay. Oh my god. He's an expert in disabling opponents through pressure point combat, and once fought demons in Valhalla alongside Wonder Woman and Thor for 1,000 freaking years. Did he say 1,000 years? Yang said in shock. Is he immortal? Both Weiss and RWBY said at the same time. Seems like it, Blake answered. He's even learned to protect his mind from telepathic attacks. I heard your telepathic shout before, but my mind is protected from anything deeper by a series of psychic blocks. Best I've seen, too. He also studied 2 Kryptonian martial arts. Oh god. I forgot how to say it. Is it just Torcasm? Weiss and Blake spit their sodas out of reaction and hearing. Jesus Christ. What does that sentence say? All the girls were blushing, but Weiss and Blake facepalmed while Yang was snickering. RWBY was a little uncomfortable. Torcasm Rao is a hard martial art in which Superman enters the theta state, a real-life phenomenon in which a person becomes extremely receptive to information and instinct. I want to learn. I now want to learn that, Blake said with interest. RWBY also felt interest in learning that too. Torcasm Vo is a mental martial art in which Superman can fight off mind domination and illusions or even counterattacks. I want to learn that too, Yang said. In order to master all his powers, Superman needed to break through his own self-created mental blocks, like how when he was younger, he believed he needed to eat food and breathe oxygen like oxygen, when he can just survive on solar energy alone, like some sort of weird plant man. Just because you don't need to eat doesn't mean you don't have to when you can still enjoy it, RWBY said. I would still eat cookies and strawberries, even if I survived on solar energy. Me too, Yang said proudly. She would never abandon the cheeseburger. Me three, Blake added. She also would never stop enjoying the fish, especially tuna and salmon. Me four, Weiss finished. She loves frozen yogurt and snow cones. Oh my god, okay. And thanks to some intense training from Mongol II, is that really what it was? Yeah, like when he obliterated an F5 tornado with a round of applause. Whoa, RWBY said. Or when he was what? Or when he was the filling for a planet sandwich. RWBY's jaw dropped of watching Superman survive 2 planets colliding head-on with him in the middle. Or held a mini black hole in his hand. This can't be possible, Weiss said, despite admitting it was awesome. Oh, or the time he dragged the freaking Earth around. They see Superman towed the Earth and dragging it around with no problem. Damn, this guy really does have some amazing feats, Yang said with impression. God, why? RWBY had stars in her eyes. Blake and Weiss were trying to comprehend all this. Superman has survived some pretty crazy things. They watched Superman get shot in the eye from a bullet at point-blank range, didn't even flinch or blink in the slightest, and the bullet dented and bounced off when it contacted his eye. Ah! Don't do that. RWBY stared at the feat in silence. Weiss slowly shook her head in disbelief. Unbelievable. RWBY, Blake, and even Yang were shocked and surprised at this kind of feat. Like when Coldcast hit him with 15 supernovas in the face. What? RWBY yelled. That was like 15 suns exploding in his face. I just said that. I don't know how much I can take, Weiss said as she felt a slight headache at hearing all these insane facts. Exaggeration, maybe, but he has survived other supernovas before. When he takes a hit, his super dense molecular structure and his bioelectric aura protects him and his suit. His bioelectric aura is just above his skin, so his skin-tight costume is protected. Huh, it almost sounds exactly like Aura in comparison, Weiss said in interest. Indeed, it sounded just like Aura. Holy crap, he sounds invincible. Not exactly. His solar energy can be depleted over out of sunlight for too long. This is how the monster Doomsday was able to kill him. Oh, sorry, not kill. Put him into a healing coma. Cop out. RWBY was confused about this. He also has several specific weaknesses, like the kryptonite, radioactive fragments of his homeworld, which brings him to his knees. All it takes is a space rock to weaken him, Gang said, not being impressed. Well, he said it was from his homeworld, so it has some justification, Blake answered. Any prolonged exposure will eventually kill him. Oh, I guess that explains it even more, Yang said. RWBY felt scared that such a radioactive mineral could be so dangerous to someone as powerful as Superman. He also has no special resistance to magical attacks, and he always gets hung up on doing the right thing even if it makes his life miserable. RWBY understands what that could be like, but it's still the right thing to do. He does not fight for himself, but to protect others. Even the buildings in Metropolis are more valuable to him than his own life. So hard that the shockwave from the collision shattered many nearby windows, and the opponent crashed into a hospital which collapsed to rubble. Most of the time. Well, it's not easy trying to not cause damage when you actually can, Yang pointed out as they remembered how much damage was caused when they fought the Grimm that invaded Vale. Point is, Superman spends more time defending the city than actually improving his own abilities. But remove all those pesky feelings about saving people and look out. You see Batman struggling to hang on to a powerful godlike being named Darkseid, who effortlessly gets Batman off of him and throws him into the ground. Can't you see that it's hopeless? Suddenly, Superman flies towards him and punches him into the wall and grabs his throat. Superman then gives an inspirational speech that RWBY will also forever remember and respect. That man, Batman, won't quit as long as he can still draw breath. None of my teammates will. Me, I got a different problem. So he's pummeling Darkseid with his punches that weakens the wall. Darkseid is now punched out of the wall and is now outside. He slowly gets up and sees Superman walking towards him. I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard, always taking constant care not to break everything, to break someone, never allowing myself to lose control or someone could die. Darkseid tries to punch him, but Superman blocks it and encounters with his own punch, which sends him back even further. But you can take it, can't you, big man? What we have here is a rare opportunity for me to cut loose and show you just how powerful I really am. Superman then dashes forward nearly at the speed of sound and punches Darkseid without holding back. The punch was so powerful that it slightly distorted the surrounding area as debris was lifted and sent back, as well as sending Darkseid flying across the city at the speed of sound as he flies into several buildings. Superman easily gets to the middle of the city in a flash, is waiting for Darkseid to get close to him. When Darkseid was in range, Superman raises both of his fists together into a single hammer arm and slams Darkseid downward towards the ground, which created a massive crater, which was possibly enough to beat him. What they saw made them jaw drop at the inspirational speech and what he literally meant when he cuts loose. But they also smiled and respected him because he would fight for his teammates if he has to cut loose, including Batman. Just like Goku, RWBY sees Superman as an inspirational figure they look up to, and he's badass in his own right due to his insane powers doing feats that are somewhat impossible. RWBY loves the cape and insane powers and even admires his motives for protecting humanity. Weiss likes his hairstyle, which you keep saying, and I really don't understand why, but whatever. His mild-mannered Clark identity, as well as liking his Arctic breath. Blake also admires his ways of protecting the world of humanity, and she does love his speech. Yang is most impressed with his insane feats. Even dragging the planet feat impressed her the most. Who would win, RWBY asked. Even if he doesn't win, which I don't mind because I want to enjoy the fight, I might say Goku, Yang answered. Blake didn't say anything, but she wouldn't mind who won, but she slightly sided with Goku. I say Superman, Weiss said, because she admires his mild-mannered Clark. Okay. Clark Kent identity, while RWBY sided with Superman due to his ways of protecting humanity. Well, let's enjoy this fight tonight and get ready for class tomorrow, said RWBY. Alright, the commands are set. Let's end this debate once and for all. It's time for a death battle! Is that a good one? RWBY sees a city known as Metropolis. Look, it's a bird! It's a plane! They see a plane with a damaged wing and it's plummeting towards the city. It's gonna kill us! I hate Mondays! Oh my god. No need to worry, Superman starts swooping in to save the day while humming his theme song, which RWBY giggled. Superman catches up to the plane, gets in front of the nose, and pushes back to slow its descent while also slowly guiding it for a safe landing. Don't worry, folks. This looks like a job for Whoa. Superman nearly hits the side of a building, which he steers out of the way. I got it. Now RWBY sees the news channel of the announcement of Superman saving the day. Goku's friends are watching the TV. Earlier today, Superman heroically rescued Metropolis from disaster once again. The Man of Tomorrow saved a downed airliner which would have crashed. Superman, huh? Wow, he looks really strong. What? That pretty closed, even faster than that stupid transforming hedgehog. Oh, yeah, Yang said as they remembered Vegeta versus Shadow. That's why, that's why that is one of the reasons why I realized that, oh, they actually have seen the planet before. God, can't believe I forgot about that. Anyways, just look at him wearing his underwear on the outside. I bet it chafes. Don't be so sure. They see Goku standing outside and looking far out to the distance of the ocean. I sense him. He's strong. Stronger than anyone I ever fought. Are you serious? Finally, someone as strong as me. Screw you. RWBY laughed at hearing Vegeta's retort. Goku grabs his wife and spins her around in joy as they laugh together, which RWBY, since they remember he's a married man. I heard he's an alien. When Goku heard that, he let go of his wife who went flying, and Goku now looks serious. An alien? It's only a matter of time before he destroys the planet. RWBY said, but Goku's already geared up. Now RWBY sees Superman standing on top of the Daily Planet. Alright, I would say Daily Planet building, but whatever. And then he hears the flying Nimbus coming towards him. Goku shows up and both they stare at each other. Hi, or hey there. Hello? You look pretty strong. Let's fight. Fight? Well, that's not what I really do. Goku throws a ki blast, but Superman deflects it and then punches Goku off the Nimbus, and both are now on opposite sides of the street as they prepare to fight. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. You're insane. RWBY sat while tension and excitement began to rise. Who will win, Goku or Superman? The ultimate showdown will end tonight. Fight! Goku and Superman circle each other until Goku punches Superman with lightning-fast punches and kicks. Superman goes on the defensive and manages to keep blocking Goku's attacks until the Saiyan teleports behind the Kryptonian and kicks him in the back. Goku then sprints and leaps onto the side of a building and uses it as a platform to jump towards Superman, who responds by leaping forward and lands a well-timed punch on Goku's stomach. Time slowed down as a shockwave was formed and Goku is now flying through several buildings as a result. RWBY stared in awe while RWBY had stars in her eyes. So awesome. Superman then zooms towards Goku and begins rapidly punching him. Goku managed to block the first few, but eventually got overwhelmed before being punched towards the ground. You're outmatched. Give up. Goku lands on his feet and is now enveloped in a red aura. Kaioken. Kaya what? Goku sees Superman, flies after him, kicks him again, which hits him with a ki blast, which nearly knocks Superman to the ground, who managed to recover. Goku then lands in front of is a volley of ki blasts in rapid succession. Superman's eyes glowed briefly and then easily dodged a ki blast by swiftly moving side to side and then dashes forward. Goku punches Goku dead center and then begins circling around Goku at such fast speeds while pummeling him at every angle. Last punch sends Goku into a nearby building and sticks to it. Suddenly, Goku's muscles aren't responding. What? I can't move. What'd Superman do to Goku? RWBY said. Or RWBY asked. No one else knows. So, you're an alien too, huh? RWBY now wonders how Superman knows that. What did you do to me? Pressure points. Didn't work at first, but my X-ray and microscopic vision were able to find your body's weak points. I'm actually impressed at that, Blake admitted. RWBY had stars in her eyes watching the awesome fight, and Yang was just as excited. Even Weiss was enjoying the fight. While Superman was talking, Goku... He won't be going anywhere, notices the Senzu bean. Wait, what is that? Once Goku ate the bean, his paralyzed muscles healed and his ki is fully restored. Senzu bean, want one? No. The bag was vaporized by the heat vision. Superman sounds a bit strict and serious, Weiss pointed out. I'm ending this now. Superman charges and throws his punch, which was caught by Goku, who just went Super Saiyan. Yang smirked in excitement as everyone else was tense to see what's going to happen next. What? Superman backs away to comprehend what just happened, but Kakarot wastes no time and punches the Man of Steel at a much faster rate than ever before, kicking him back. Kal-El recovers in midair. Alright, Blondie, what's going on? Goku doesn't answer, but instead he flies towards Superman, who counters with a punch but hits nothing but air. Goku teleported and is now behind Superman with he flies upwards towards Superman until he's above him in a massive skyscraper with an L and the name that says LexCorp in the middle of the city. I'm a Super Saiyan! He punches Superman downward, who lands back first on the top of the skyscraper as Goku prepares his Kamehameha. Kamehameha! The blast obliterates the skyscraper in one hit as it explodes into bits. RWBY's jaw dropped. RWBY is squealing in excitement at how awesome that was. That was so awesome! I hope no one was in that. They now see Superman standing in the rubble. He seems unfazed in the slightest. Well, this might take a while. Suddenly, Superman started to feel weak and sick. Right next to Superman is a chunk of kryptonite that was radiating its lethal radiation, known to turn Kryptonians into helpless weaklings. Oh, what? No, not now. RWBY felt sympathy for Supes being like this. It's like he's suffering that shouldn't happen right now in the middle of a fight, almost as if it's an unfair advantage. Goku charges forward, ready to punch his opponent, but he notices something's wrong. Huh? Hey, what are you doing? Said the kryptonite. Is that rock hurting you? Kryptonite. Goku then raises his hand forward and charges a ki blast that appears to be aiming at Superman. Wait, that's it? He's gonna finish him off like that, Yang said. I was expecting a better fight, she said in disappointment. Didn't they say Goku fights fairly, Blake said. Goku launches the ki blast, which disintegrates the kryptonite. Guess he wasn't trying to beat Superman unfairly, Weiss said. I'll have the advantage in that. There, okay, let's go. What? Why? I want to beat you at your best. It's no fun if it's not fair. Gee, thanks. Superman was interrupted with a kick to his face as the fight ensues. It is also one of, like, the funniest parts of any death battle that's not, like, a direct joke. Like, it's a very visual joke. RWBY couldn't help but laugh at what just happened. Both alien warriors were now clashing at hypersonic speeds that they were blurs and could see shockwaves in all directions. RWBY was screaming in excitement while everyone else was just stunned at the spectacle. Both fighters were now seen upon closer look. Goku was throwing punches and kicks while Superman stayed with hooks and jabs. Goku eventually won the struggle and kicked Superman, who spiraled towards the ground. Goku things as fast as light. He wasn't phased. He walks forward and punches Goku back. Superman then zips behind Goku, then slams a car on top of him before Goku could respond. RWBY cringed. Next time, watch your blind spot. Oh! Goku goes Super Saiyan 2 and destroys the car. RWBY felt the tension rising every second. Huh, deja vu. Goku launches another volley of ki blasts, but Superman destroys them with his heat vision. He flies past Goku and hits him in the back with his heat vision, stunning him. Superman quickly rips a lamppost from the ground and hits Goku in the back, which sends him flying. It's a home run! Yang shouted. Goku recovers in midair and draws his power pole and uses it to swat away the lamppost that was thrown at him. Goku then flies towards Superman and unleashes a combo on him that knocks Superman back. That feels like power pole extend. Takes him into a building. Goku punches Superman further into the buildings and skids across the street. Superman lays there in pain while staring into the sky. Ugh, magic. The game's not fun when you're losing, is it? Gets back up. Game? You think this is a game? I haven't even begun to play. With that said, Superman flies up into the air and flies off into the distance in an instant. Goku then puts two of his where Superman. RWBY sees Superman is flying so fast across the ocean that the sun is rising into the sky. Goku uses instant transmission and teleports to a wasteland filled with large rock formations, with some the size of small mountains. He draws his power pole. Wait, where is it? Okay, hold on. He draws his power pole and, with well-timed precision, smacks Superman on the head, and both are now on the ground. Goku then extends his pole to hit Superman in the side, but the Kryptonian... Oh. Jesus. Okay. Goku then extends his pole to hit Superman in the side, but the Kryptonian catches it in his hand, slams Goku into the ground, and proceeds to throw the power pole out of the atmosphere. Goku then decides to amp it up by going Super Saiyan 3, which the Earth shook just by the transformation itself. Yang was smiling in delight that the fight is going to get more serious while RWBY is shaking in excitement. Oh great, not another. Goku interrupts Superman by punching him in the head and delivers him a fury of kicks. Goku then grabs Superman by the legs and spins across the wasteland while Superman is slammed into the ground repeatedly. Goku finishes the combo by throwing Superman into a small mountain-sized rock formation which explodes into pebbles. That was so awesome, both Yang and RWBY said. White and Blake were also enjoying the fight. Superman flies out of the dust cloud where the giant rock used to be and now unleashes a barrage of punches which forces Goku to go on the defensive. Goku is wondering how Superman is so powerful. In his mind, he can even keep up with Super Saiyan 3. What makes him so strong? Goku decides to use mind reading by teleporting behind Superman and lashes his hand on his head in an attempt to read his mind. Unfortunately, thanks to Torkazam Vo, Superman easily prevents Goku from reading his mind. Attacking my mind, huh? The Man of Tomorrow counters... Is that... What? I don't know if that's... Okay. And elbows Goku in the stomach, then strikes him a few times, knocking him into the air. Superman then smashes Goku into the ground that created a huge crater. His fight just gets better and better. Superman flies down towards Goku, but Goku has another trick up his sleeve. Solar Flare. The screen flashed white and all was silent. They now see Superman holding Goku by the throat. It seems the Solar Flare doesn't work on someone who has supervision. Some area begins to deform as circles of negative spaces begins to appear. I've got a bad feeling about this. The minor warp turns day to Goku transforming into Super Saiyan 4. The transformation completes as lightning strikes the sky. Here we go again. It's over, Superman. Nobody is stronger than Super Saiyan 4, my ultimate form. Ultimate form, huh? About time you ran out of hairstyles. RWBY giggled while Yang took it as a minor offense but didn't care since she's enjoying the fight. Both the Saiyan and Kryptonian slowly begin to rise upward as they glare daggers at each other. Both charge at near light speed and begin trading blows that were so destructive that massive shockwaves were formed, shook the planet, and even slightly warped the area around them. And they start clashing at ludicrous speeds that both fight. Of shockwaves were made, which even the camera had to focus the two of them and even slow down time to get a view of them. RWBY had their jaws dropped just by watching the spectacle of the fight. I think this is the best fight we've ever seen, Weiss said without a doubt. Everyone nodded without a doubt either. Goku ends the struggle with a two-leg kick which knocks Superman back to the ground. Superman then unleashes his Arctic breath combined with a super breath at temperatures far below Sub-Zero and at speeds that make even the mightiest hurricane look like a gentle breeze. Goku took the full brunt of the breath and even feels ice and frost forming on himself, but continues to push forward and manages to land a hit on Superman and even shoots Superman point blank in the face with a more powerful version of Ki Blast. Superman begins to lose some of his power due to the sun being blocked out. I don't have much left in me. Have to get above those clouds. Superman then flies upward as fast as he could, but with Goku not far behind. Oh, no, you don't. Both are now in the upper atmosphere, with Goku preparing his Kamehameha. Counters with his heat vision. Both beams collide to a standstill in spectacle. RWBY eyes widen as they stare in awe at the Beamo War. So awesome, RWBY fangirled. Superman began to gain the upper hand, but Goku has one move left at his disposal. Kaioken! With Goku's beam is now much stronger and overpowered Superman's heat vision, and sent Superman flying away into space as his screams were heard and eventually faded. RWBY stares in silence at the epic finisher. That was awesome, Ruin Yang said. Well, I guess we have our winner, Weiss said while Blake continues to watch because no KO has been announced. Something tells me it isn't over, Blake quietly mumbled. Goku has used up all his energy and is now back to his normal self. Phew. That's it. Good fight. As Goku was about to leave, he sensed something that stopped him cold. RWBY had the sense it's not over. Wait, there's no way. He's still alive. It's the sun. He's using the sun. Oh yeah, we forgot he could bathe inside the sun like it's nothing, Aang pointed out. And that means, RWBY asked. He's gaining power and getting stronger every second, Blake said. But I'm drained. And Goku used up most of his energy. Raises his hands upwards. Sun, lend me your energy. Goku begins to gather energy from the sun to create the spirit bomb, while Superman is gaining power from the sun he's inside of. It's now a race of gaining energy as Goku now has a massive spirit bomb above him while Superman exits the sun and he now looks like he's being made of flames. RWBY stares in silence as they can feel the tension as they predict the final showdown is going to begin. Goku absorbs the spirit bomb, getting a massive boost, and unleashes a massive golden beam version of the Kamehameha towards his target. Superman, who is now 3 times more powerful than ever before, flies towards Earth within mere seconds. When Superman reached Earth, he easily plows through the beam and collides with Goku as they both plummet towards Earth like a human-sized meteor. The collision was so hard and fast that it created a massive explosion. Both alien saviors now drilled the planet. Goku turns back into Super Saiyan 4. He can barely withstand the heat of the Earth's core. Both face off with one final move of their own to end this battle with a golden dragon sneaking around it while Superman's fist vibrates at light speed. Dragon Fist versus Infinite Mass Punch. Dragon Fist! Both charge and throw their final punch with all they can muster. Time slows down once both fists collide. Silence. It was all quiet for a moment as RWBY watched both combatants stood still. Suddenly everything started to shake, and even space and time almost lost their grip on reality. The camera zoomed out and it looked like Earth warped in and out for a moment. Then it explodes. RWBY's eyes widened in shock. The pieces of the planet that were scattered were engulfed by the supernova-esque explosion, with Goku and Superman in the center of it. Both Goku and Superman screamed in horror as both were engulfed in the screen faded white. Silence. RWBY couldn't comprehend what they saw. The planet exploded in the blink of an eye. Superman was floating in space and appears to be unconscious or dead. The dust from the planet's remains clear, and Superman came into contact with the sun's rays. Superman opens his eyes. K.O. RWBY stared in shock and awe at the winner for tonight. Superman slowly drifted off into space as they see Goku's boot slowly drift around the empty void of what Earth used to be. RWBY couldn't see anything. Words could not describe what they saw, but Yang was able to, I said. It's over. It's for us to hear about it again. Indeed, Superman may not be as tenacious as Goku, but sometimes tenacity only prolongs the inevitable. Superman's powers are insane. He can even patch up holes in reality just with his own static electricity. Weiss nearly fainted at hearing a seemingly impossible feat such as that. Goku did not understand Superman's connection to the sun and would not think to teleport him to a red star. Even if he did figure it out, he would run the risk of teleporting him to a blue star, which actually increases Superman's powers. And if Goku destroyed the sun, the supernova would blast all the way past Mars and incinerate him. So it ultimately came down to who was stronger, faster, and tougher. Strength. Oh, it's raining! The force needed to move an object out of the sun's orbit by 1% is about 1,000 times less than the object's mass. Weiss is actually good at math, so she mentally jots down all the info. The Earth weighs just under 6.6 sextillion tons. This means Superman is strong enough to move 6.6 quintillion tons. RWBY's jaw dropped to the numbers. Dang, it's a lot of weight to bench, Yang answered. But since his solar power can rise infinitely, this is nowhere near his maximum strength. They see Superman testing his strength with a scientist after being dipped in the sun once. You are now lifting 200 quintillion tons. That's 3 times your record. Can't this guy have any limit? Weiss said in disbelief. Doesn't seem like it, Blake answered. Speed. While being timed by Max Lord, Superman flew to the sun and back in less. The board says the distance from Earth to the sun is 93 million miles. RWBY's not getting used to if someone could move speeds as fast as that. They're that fast. Not to mention he was fighting Wonder Stripper the whole time. Why is he fighting Wonder Woman? RWBY asked in concern. They don't know why, but it looks like he's brainwashed. True, so it's likely he can go faster. According to Batman, he can at least fly 17 billion kilometers per hour. And nobody argues with Batman. Durability. The Man of Steel can survive the impacts of multiple supernovas, each with about 10 octillion megatons of force. So Superman's feats and skills are definitely measured. However, Goku's are not and are difficult to judge. Not only does Dragon Ball heavily abuse cinematic time, but Goku's final adventures in Dragon Ball GT are incredibly inconsistent due to his untimely transformations into a child. Goku turns into a kid, but RWBY thinks he looks cute. Well, the room just got a lot bigger somehow. As ki is dependent on the physical body, his child form likely could not handle his own ki, sending his own power into flux. I can't take it. The older body was more developed. So if I was a kid right now, I couldn't handle my aura, Yang said. Yes, Blake answered. And obviously we're not using future Goku because that would require a ridiculous amount of assumptions. Not to mention we would have to use future Superman, who's pretty much a god. They looked at Superman, who looks like he's made of pure gold. So like Superman, we need to judge Goku in his prime. After experimenting with dozens of different theories, we discovered an ironclad method to defining Goku's limits, which we call the gravity formula, based around his training and increased gravity. RWBY's now interested in how this might work. Due to his style of training and Saiyan heritage... Rain! Stop it! Due to his style of training and Saiyan heritage, Goku increases his abilities proportionate to the amount of force he trains under. Saiyans are born with the unique ability to fight anywhere. Well, in his base form, Goku could lift just under 40 tons. Not even the strongest huntsman can bench even half that much, even when using all their aura, Blake stated. This is equivalent to This is equivalent to 586 times normal Earth gravity, which we will use in the gravity formula. Alongside the Super Saiyan power increases, alongside the Super Saiyan forms, which God. Multiplying the 40 tons by the Super Saiyan forms, which means he can lift up to 160,000 tons of Super Saiyan 4 without ki. That's still impressive, Blake said. At least it's far beyond what a human can lift, Weiss said. Strong enough to pick up a continent, or my ex-wife. Haha. RWBY and Yang laughed while Weiss facepalmed. Speed. Right after Goku trained on King Kai's planet, which has gravity 10 times stronger than Earth's, he flew across Snake Way's road as fast as possible to save his friends. It took him 28 hours. Impressive since that's 1 million kilometers long. That's a long trip to take then, Yang said. Except it's filled with curves and Goku flew straight over it. So how far did he actually travel? By comparing Goku's height to a single spike, we can measure each curve. We can then remove those curves from the overall length. So it turns out Goku actually flew 307,000 kilometers, nearly 11,000 kilometers per hour. That's also pretty fast, RWBY said impressively. To see how fast his base form is by the end of the series, we run the Snake Way number through the gravity formula to find his top speed clocks in at over 2.5 billion kilometers per hour, over 2 times the speed of light. Durability. We can determine Goku's durability through this bomb, which the brilliant Dr. Jiro designed to kill Goku at age 25, when his maximum potential was Kaioken times 4. That was intended for Goku. It was intended to be a last resort. RWBY was creeped that the bomb was inside the being named Android 16. The scans of the bomb displayed a TNT measurement of 657. Obama says the bomb could destroy the Earth, so this is likely measured in quadrillion megatons, since it takes at least 53 quadrillion megatons of force to destroy the Earth. Who would design a bomb that, as a last resort, that can destroy the planet? Weiss freaked out. This Dr. Hero is insane. Tillion megatons. I think we get it now, Weiss said. Key power. Goku doesn't rely solely on his physical abilities. He amplifies his strength and durability with ki. But even though his ki reserve cannot be measured, we can determine his maximum output. See, his ki attacks do not force him backward unless he allows them to. Even when firing upward at full power, the ground beneath him remains untouched. Therefore, according to physics, his maximum output is at most equal to the amount of is obvious to the superior in all 3 categories as the board shows in comparison. Quite a curb stomp battle, if you ask me. Yang said. Holy shit, not even close. Finally concludes an inspirational conclusion RWBY will never forget. Okay. Now, we can keep throwing feats and equations around, but in the end, numbers cannot measure what Goku and Superman are capable of. They're both ultimate heroes, solutions to daunting problems, and achievers of the impossible. It's quite relatable between these two, Blake stated. The difference is that the core of their character, RWBY listens closely. Goku has never been invincible. He has very clear limits and must overcome those limits to solve the problem at hand. That's the whole point. But that made RWBY warmly smile, since RWBY and everyone else at Beacon goes through that kind of challenge too. They keep overcoming their own limits through better. On the other hand, Superman's story is not about the fight to become the best, but an immigrant facing the challenges of his home versus heritage. RWBY, especially Blake, also goes through a similar problem like that too. Blake struggles to reveal her fondest side to the rest of the world, in which she will someday. But she won't do it alone. Looks at her 3 teammates and smiles. Weiss still struggles to uphold her lineage with her father's company, while still choosing to be a huntress because to her it's the right thing to do and someday make her company better than than it is and was. After accepting his alien side, Superman has reached his full potential, which under the endless power of the sun is essentially limitless. In short, Superman is as strong as he needs to be. So what happens when you pit a man with give him the credit and respect for giving it all he got? It even looks at like as if Goku is saluting to Superman out of respect as well. Kaio can't keep up with the Man of Steel. The winner is Superman. RWBY cheers not only to Superman but Goku as well. RWBY sits in silence. They have gone this far. Well, what next? RWBY asked. It's been 25 episodes and we managed to get this far, Blake said. I'm sure we got more to watch tomorrow since the discs are right there, Waze pointed out. But what episode will feature the next combatants? RWBY asked. They got their answer. Next time on Death Battle. The screen was dark and the music started off slow and gentle with low brass instruments. Suddenly they see a figure that couldn't tell who it was due to the bright energy enveloping the figure, but they realize it's a male due to his masculine shape. Then they heard a voice that sounds divine and powerful. By the power of Grayskull! RWBY got a good look at him. It was a tall, blonde, muscular, and very handsome man, wearing a barbaric-like outfit that showed off his chiseled abs and muscles that made the girls blush and Yang purr in lust. Jesus! He was wielding some kind of sword that appears to be a conduit of the energy he was enveloped in. I have the power! His name says it all. He-Man. Let's go, Cringer. The young man is running towards the battle with a large feline that is supposedly named Cringer. He-Man and Battle Cat are about to make an appearance. What's the rush? He-Man deflects a laser with his sword. Anything you can pitch, I can hit back. The screen goes dark, and now they see the next contestant. But they only see a cool-looking sword extending from a masculine voice, which was followed by a badass boast and lightning from the sky. Thunder! 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 Thundercats! Ho! They looked at the man, or Catman. For some reason, Blake was blushing like crazy when she looked at the masculine and handsome cat-like man with a thick red mane and hairstyle. Red mane-like hairstyle and orange-colored cat-like eyes. His name is revealed. Lion-O. RWBY sees an awesome sword that Lion-O is wielding. This is the mystic Sword of Omens in the Eye of Thundera. Lion-O spent 10 years in the suspension castle. He grew in size, but he did not grow up. He-Man versus Lion-O. RWBY felt excited, but they realized that they have to stop for tonight and get ready for Beacon. But they're eager to see these two duke it out. Everyone goes to bed and falls asleep. Oh my god! Okay. It's over! Jesus Christ! Okay, so a few things. In the last episode, I said that I would be switching off doing this every other episode, but I'm not doing that because this is the end. If you want to read this, then read the whole thing. Then prepare to read this and have it take quite a long time. Now, of course, reading something out loud takes longer than reading it in your head. So, you know, if you do that, it won't take you as long to read a single chapter as it took me to read this, because it's likely that it took me, let's just say, an hour and a half, probably more, to read this part alone, and there's at least 37 of them that you actually need to read. I don't even know. But besides for the whole, you know, this takes forever and the grammar being quite bad, it's still slightly interesting, and I'd say it's probably better than the RWBY reacts to ships. So, you know, read this if you want to. And then, I don't know. I am read read through some of these, but not like a lot of them, because it's gonna take forever, and I don't want to have it take forever. Just want to see their reactions to some of it. Anyways, we're done. Less than an hour. It's over. Next time, we'll be working on finishing The Huntress of Fairy Tale. Yeah.